All of our faces just say it all in it, like honestly.
I thought I'd let you host tonight, Mia. So that's why I put you at the front.
Thanks, great. Thanks for that, Kate. I'm loving it.
That's it.
I already started to get a bit of a cold, and I've got a bit of like a funny, like, feeling. And then that game of football, honestly, like, do you know what? That first half was so frustrating because it was a bit like the Villa game. We did a lot but did nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I think it was so. It really annoyed me because I was like, I knew the second half at 1-0, it was easy for them to come back into. Like we didn't create much. Like we had a lot of the ball, we played a lot of pretty football, but I didn't feel like we created much. What do you think, girls?
I said to Jim in the first half when it was getting to half time, I said, this is going to be Villa. We're going to end up losing this game because you cannot miss that many chances against West Ham. You know that they've got danger men like Kudos, Bowen, James Ward-Prowse. And if you don't take the chances early on, they're going to make you pay. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened.
Yeah. It was like a magnet to their ball, to their feet, sorry. The ball kept on breaking to them. And then we imploded at the end because, like, you can't do that, Udogie. Come on, man. You know, it's very frustrating because we could have been 4 or 5 up easily if we just played the right ball. It was all like pretty football, but no preciseness on the last ball. You know, so I was gutted. I'm sitting there thinking, what's happening? What's happening? You know, and I knew we were going to lose. It just looked like we were going to lose.
Yeah, I felt like that as well because we had so many of those chances in that first half. I was like, there's no way on earth that we're going to win this game. It just felt like one of those games. And you know what West Ham are like against us? They always up their game because they knew that first half that we had them on toast but didn't do nothing. So they were like, oh, okay. And also a record of scoring first. Score first, don't win game. So that was a bit like, oh, sweet. We know what the story is with this lot. It's just a recurring thing.
Pierre's getting it already, Ellie.
I know. Well, he was. You know what? He wasn't the bloody worst. I thought the worst was Udogie and Basuma. They were rubbish. Oh,
I don't think
he wasn't any better.
I don't think he was the worst. I don't think Højbjerg was the worst. I can agree with that one. Honestly, I don't think he was at all. I just think
Kulu was awful. Awful.
No, Kulu, on that. Do you know what it is? It's when he plays on the bloody wing, man. He's just no good. He's just so like the limited side of him comes out when he's on that wing.
Yeah. You know? Why did he change it again? I don't get it. Why didn't you just play him in the middle?
Because he's trying things out, I suppose. First season, you know, trying out with what we've got. But I mean, it's a different kettle of fish when Kulu's on the wing. He's just. I watch him on the wing and I think he's crap, and then I watch him in the middle and I think, oh, he's a real good player. I can't bear him on the wing. I literally want to smash his face in.
Yeah. You know, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating when he gets it right. It's not too bad, but he's more often than not, he gets it wrong, right, on the wing. But when he's in the middle and he can pick the ball up and then he cuts through the middle of the penalty box, he's fantastic and he can find his man. We still should have won that match. I don't care.
I've got to agree with Julia on this one as well. That second goal I thought was really poor by Vicario. When I watched it back, he should have just caught it, man. Why is he punching it out? Like, that was a really silly mistake by him.
Towards him. That's why it came to him with a curve, and it sort of spun. Yeah, and it put him off. So, you know what? Ifs and buts, isn't it? Really, if buts and nuts.
I get it, but I just
we have to bring that one out. Yeah.
I'm struggling to really find anything positive to say about a lot of the game. The first half, like you say, we looked really good. We looked sharp, but we didn't do anything. Song was non-existent today. I thought Højbjerg was dreadful again. I'm sorry, Ellie. I thought he was dreadful. But then I didn't think Udogie was as bad as I thought he was better than he was against when did I say he was awful? So many games have happened. I don't know if it was last game or the game before. He was dreadful. I thought he was better than that today. I thought Romero looked all right in the first half. It was just a bit shambolic. It was the ultimate Spursy performance.
Yeah. And they did the low block against us in that second half. The first half, they couldn't cope with us. We were moving the ball so sweetly. But when it came to that final pass, like I said, ladies, we were poor, especially Johnson, because he was giving the ball away. He wasn't finding his man. You know, he had a couple of good shots that were blocked. Lo Celso had a good shot that was saved.
The only player that was good was Porro. Porro was really good. He tried, man. Good. He really did try.
He tried his best.
He's crossing, like he was always trying to get that ball in, Joe. Like, honestly, I thought he really did try.
You're right there. We nearly got a repeat of the Matip goal, didn't we, when Porro put it across and their defender nearly made an own goal again.
I think that's a very reactionary statement that people would want them sacked because it's Ange. It's seemingly tolerated. Number one, because it's only been 15 games or 16 games, whatever it is. Now, number two, he hasn't got his full team. It's not, and you can say fans will blame injuries, but he hasn't got key players in that squad, you know, and I think it's way too soon to start talking about sacking him.
Yeah, that is too much. Yeah, I don't want him sacked. Absolutely not. It's too early. Like, it's so early in what we're trying to do. We can't judge him like that. Right.
You know. Should we say Hal should get sacked for getting thumped by Everton 3-0 then?
See, look, now we're getting this manager is clueless. Look at that. But people weren't saying he was clueless when he drew against Man City the other day.
Do you know what I will say? I don't think he always gets it correct with who he plays. I don't think he always gets it correct when he gets with the subs. However, I don't think any manager gets it correct the whole time. Are you going to say about look at Pep? Pep, everyone hails him up as one of the best managers around. I'm sure that he made mistakes with that Aston Villa game because they did bloody well win it, did they? So, you know, every manager makes mistakes. Like, I just think that it's very reactionary to say that we want to get rid of a manager after this long. And I don't think the board think that either. I don't think that the board will want him out. I really don't. Because no one's booing at the stadium. I think people are understanding that we're going through a process at the moment.
Yeah. I think the fans started to leave, and I've never seen that. Maybe it's because it's against West Ham, but I'm so glad I gave my ticket away because I wouldn't have been able to stomach that. That was, you know what it was, right? The first half, we should have been 3 or 4, maybe even 5-0 up easily if we just made the right ball. But we were too mucking about with it too much, you know, not being decisive. But Romero's goal was fabulous. It was fantastic. And then we should have kicked on from there. And then they came out like a different team. Paqueta, who was having all that cream put on his calves, he turned into bloody Michelin man, like woof, fast as lightning, leaving our defence for dead. You know, and I mean, he's a Brazilian player, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I thought he was dead and buried in that first half with that injury. It's very frustrating, but it's annoying. It's annoying to lose that way.
Yeah, I think we are allowed to criticise him. I think we will criticise him, but I think that there's some good points being made in the chat that Clarkey, even when we have our injured players back, and still won't have his team until at least next season. Little acorns, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to understand. And also someone said about Arteta, he finished 8th and 8th. Yeah. And then he finished 5th. Like, does everybody expect us this season just to be automatically top 4? That's it. Like, I never thought that at the beginning of the season. And I said all along we're going to have losses. So, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just a bit more prepared for it.
I don't get that by Jason.
No, nor do I. I mean, if Levy says I'm going to sack him, who the hell's he going to bring in, for God's sake? And not only that, this statement annoys me because nobody knows that Jack Grealish would have scored that goal. Okay, no one knows at all. So that's a load of rubbish. You've got to be rational. He isn't beyond criticism. You know, we criticise players, we can criticise the manager, but at the same time, to start saying he's clueless, he's a one-trick pony, he's this, he's that, he's so reactionary. I don't like it. I don't like it. Everyone said they wanted stability. They wanted, you know, backroom staff are changing. They want the manager to be set to build his squad. Well, after 15 games, people are already talking about sacking him. And this is the problem with Tottenham fans, I'm afraid. Not all Tottenham fans. I don't want to put everyone in the same bracket. But what I'm saying is people need to direct their anger at the board should they choose not to backhand. You can't keep sacking managers. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And like if they backed him properly and got him the centre back and got him a really good bench, we wouldn't have this predicament.
Yeah, you can't get it all in one
exactly.
go, Ellie. You can't expect for one summer for us to get everything that Ange wants. It's going to take time. With Pochettino, it took a bit of time. He didn't get everything he wanted in that first season.
I get your point, but why? All right, buy an 18-year-old centre back, right? When we could have got Adebayo or obviously Tapsoba, we couldn't get because
they didn't want to come. He didn't want to come.
But if you put the money down, Mia, you will get your player.
No, you won't. That's such a fallacy. If you get listen right, it's not true.
Money talks.
It doesn't. If a player doesn't want to come, they will not come. You can't force a player just because of money. It doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get that player. What we're going to do, we're going to put money down for flipping Mbappe. Just because we put enough money down, it means he wants to come to Tottenham. No, you can't make that come.
That's another scenario. Obviously, he's not going to come.
But it's the same principle. If someone doesn't want to
there
come.
There are other centre-backs we could have gone for. We get an 18-year-old. We did the same last season. We got all these. We got 2 or 3 good players, and we got some youngsters in. We got to build the squad for him. So now January's coming. January's coming. We've got to build that squad starting January. If we only get 2, that's not helping him. He needs 3 or 4 minimum.
Yes, but that's also good. Right. So all of our squad, is taken up at the moment. We have to get players out. We can't expect everything to happen in one go. While I agree with you, we needed another centre-back. The one maybe that we wanted, maybe we couldn't get, maybe they didn't want to come, right? Whatever reason it is, we all know that should have been done. But we've got the January now to have a couple of players come in. But everybody's got to understand that doesn't happen overnight. I think people have got a bit of memory loss. They've got a bit of Dory from Nemo because Poch did not do that in his first season.
Yeah, but we don't want to do what Poch does. Yeah, but we want to be better than that.
But the whole point takes time, man. No club does it instantly like that. Even City, who had all that money, the first season they didn't do much. Liverpool, the same. When you get a new manager, it takes time, man. It takes time.
Yeah, I understand that, but we should have got better. We should have got somebody better than an 18-year-old centre half. We should have. That's all I'm saying. Just that one position makes a very big difference. You see tonight with Romero in the back, he wasn't the one who made the mistake. It was Udogie. Romero was solid tonight.
The second goal was a really unlucky on both Romero and Davies because it rebounded. So that goal you can't really chalk down to it was the defence, but it also was quite unlucky. So to blame just the defence tonight when the attack didn't do enough, I think is a bit disingenuous.
I'm not blaming the defence only. I just picked on them because they made 2 mistakes tonight. But
the second one was unlucky.
Of course, it's up to the attack to score goals because they're more at fault. Actually, I would say they're more at fault for not finishing their dinner because we should have been 3 or 4, 5-0 up easily in that first half. We went into the second half and it's like West Ham got another lease of life. Where did they get that from? For God's sake, it was a very annoying match because we just was too tentative. And going forward, Porro was the only one who made inroads. Kulu was very, very disappointing. And I'm his biggest supporter, you know. I love Kulu. But tonight, he was so wasteful.
Yeah,
I think everyone was wasteful, to be honest.
I think you've got to look at the fact that we can't seem to hold on to a lead. I don't understand what that's about. That's a mentality thing.
That is, I agree.
Yeah.
You know, we keep going 1-0 up and then losing. That's unacceptable. I don't know if you can blame the players, the manager, if it's everything, like a mixture of all of that. But that's the most worrying thing of all for me. We just cannot finish a game out. As soon as we go 1-0 up, I'm actually more nervous than if we'd gone 1-0 down, because I know that we can't hold on to a lead.
And he shouldn't play my man Højbjerg. He shouldn't. He should have kept the same system with Kulu in the middle. That's what he should have done, because Kulu's so much more effective. We saw it. How well he played in the middle, and then he puts him on the wing again. Oh, I'm so unhappy. I feel like crying.
It was just a shambles. It was shambles, really.
It was a shambles.
Son was
the worst second half.
Son was completely invisible in the second half. I just don't recall him do anything. It was just. I'm actually lost for words. It felt like watching Villa again. It was all good in the first half. Should have took our chances, didn't, and then paid the price in the second half. And we had no one on the bench that could come on and change a game. This is why I said all along, and I got slated for it, that everyone was saying it was a good window. It was not a good window. It was a shocking window. If Ange wants 2 centre-backs, you cannot buy him a child and a centre-back that walks into the team.
That's what I said.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was like a window where you can say the whole thing was like an absolute disgrace, because we did get players in
I said it was bang average, and I got voted that it was very good on my show, and it wasn't very good. It was average, because we got in a handful of good players, but we left ourselves far too short. You know, I can't believe the likes of Davis are still playing in this team. I mean, we're never going to win nothing with players like him, ever.
No. And beyond simply, I feel like crying because of the way we lost.
Yeah,
and we played in that second half. Oh.
We so desperately need. I was just going to say those words: another striker, or another someone that can finish like a Bowen. That's what we need. A Jared Bowen.
When I went on,
he was handing them on the plate.
Yeah, when I went on with Alan, what I said is that with Sonny, he isn't always clinical, and we need somebody who is. It doesn't matter where they are. If they're on the wing or a striker, we need someone who's going to also help out, because of obviously Sonny isn't always that clinical player. Unfortunately, he does have his patches. You know,
this is why he's not world class. We was having this discussion in my room the other day. He's not consistent enough to be world class. He goes invisible for games. World class players don't do
that. I think world class is overused, and I wouldn't say that Sonny is world class. Like, I think he's a fantastic player on his day. He can have we've seen him pull off some absolute brilliant goals and really take the team on his shoulders, like when he did in the Champions League run, and we didn't have Kane. So I do appreciate him as a player, but we know he also has those patches where he doesn't do that. So that's the problem.
Exactly that. Anyone who says, we're a better team without Kane is an absolute donut, because he would be finishing them chances. He'd probably outscore Haaland this year in this system.
Yeah.
You know, we've got no one clinical enough to finish these chances. Johnson was having little shots, but they were like 2 mile an hour shots straight into the keeper's hand.
Straight at him. He's on the wrong foot, isn't he, ladies? He's on the wrong foot. So he's a right footer playing on the left, so he's got a check, and then by that time they've got the blocking.
When I see him play on the right, I thought he looked worse. So I don't really get it. I don't get it.
He can have a better shot from the right because it'll be on his right foot. He's checking back, and then he's getting blocked. The shot's getting blocked.
Yeah, it was just all a bit of a shambles.
Yeah, that first 25 minutes was incredible. The way we were moving the ball, the movement of the ball, and it was just too many passing though. Too many passes. You've got to be more clinical. And Sonny, he doesn't even look fit. Like, even the commentator said he's pulled up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all a bit blur.
Yeah,
it was. That's the only word I can think of to use for it. It was a bit blur. And after Romero's brilliant first half goal, which was a cracking goal,
brilliant,
and then it went tits up.
Yeah,
and we just
Steve D said bad timing for my Christmas ho ho ho, but I've actually got Christmas pajamas on. They're actually pajamas, so I'm just I'm trying to bring some joy.
That's the best thing I've seen tonight.
That's the best ho 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 I've ever seen.
Ho ho ho.
Go on, Mia, sorry.
I've got what I was going to say now. Yeah, it's fine. Too busy with the ho ho ho's.
Yeah, we don't beat
Everton, Newcastle, Everton, or Bournemouth. Oh my God!
I think we'll beat Newcastle.
They're all pretty hard games.
They are. Well, there's no such thing as an easy game, is there, in the Premier League?
No. Well, look, Newcastle just gone and got thumped by Everton 3-0.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
Exactly.
I know they've got some injuries and they've lost their goalie, haven't they?
Yeah.
Nick Pope. Yeah, he's a big loss. You know, we have to win this one now. Like we're saying this every game now, aren't we, ladies? We've got to win this one. We've got to win, and we're not. We've got 1 point from 15.
Yeah, it's not good when you see LLLLDL. Is that right?
Arsenal are laughing, man.
Of course they are, because to that, honestly, with Newcastle losing, Aston Villa winning, we had to win to stay in the mix. Yeah. And we just threw it away.
We would have gone tie with Man City tonight.
Yeah.
We've got 30 points.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. Only Spurs can go up
behind Arsenal.
Only to not win their next 10. Yeah, there'll be no Manager of the Month awards coming.
No.
Definitely not.
I don't think it'll be as drastic as that. I do think we will win. But I did have us down to draw with West Ham originally, ages ago, when we first lost Madders and all that. I said, this is where I thought we might get a point. But I just don't know. I just don't bloody know. Yeah, we are in relegation.
The one game we thought we weren't going to get nothing, Man City, we get a point.
Yeah, but that's typical Spurs.
Typical Spurs, yeah. Absolutely. That's very Spurs, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. I was on the terrace the other day saying, we showed great bounce back ability. Coming back is the new Spursy. And then tonight we go and do the old Spursy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So disappointing, man. So disappointing. I feel sick. I feel sick. You know when you get that sick feeling in your stomach?
Yeah, I feel like that as well. I just felt we had enough, man, to beat them, especially that first half. Like, Joe, I just think they came out with that second half with the fire in their bellies, because even from that very second they kicked off, they was attacking us. And I thought, oh, damn, this ain't good for us, Joe, because they came out with a different feeling. And because we didn't finish our chance in that first half, they knew that they could get at us if they changed the way they were.
Yeah. It is what it is at the end of the day. You know, we've just got to remember that it is only, what is it? It's 15 games that Ange's been in charge.
It is.
And he's been it is bang unlucky to lose Madders, to lose Van Ven. You know, they're two best players so far this season. I don't know what's happened to Zuma. I have no idea.
There's something wrong with him, right? Because he's not even driving through the middle anymore. He's been very tentative and he's just passing a simple 5-yard pass.
I get Nick's point completely, because when we was playing that rubbish football, when we was trying to defend a 1-0 lead, when it was all defensive and stuff, that wasn't good to watch. But that second half was also not that great to watch, to be honest, because they were pressing us much more than what they did in that first half. They were just much more like not giving us space. In that first half, they gave us so much space, man. They just let us play our quick passes, didn't close us down or nothing. Well, in that second half, they really, like I say, they came out and Ange didn't have an answer for it.
No.
When he made those changes, it didn't change anything, Joe. That's what I kind of feel like. But he didn't have, like, the options are limited at the minute, because obviously injuries, and plus, obviously, we haven't got all the players yet that he wants because it's early doors. So,
yeah. Apparently, Sonny's on the
television. He's not going to
television.
change his style, is he? He's
No.
not going to change his style. We're going to still play that high line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I do think he made mistakes tonight. I think moving Cooley from the middle was a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
I think starting Højbjerg was a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
I think taking Theo off and bringing Skip on was a terrible mistake.
What's he going to give you?
Yeah, exactly. Different if you're 3-0 up.
He's going to do more or less what Højbjerg does and just keep the thing simple. He's not going to affect the game. You've got to bring on play. But like I said, our bench, what are we going to bring on? We've got no one. We've got 2 youngsters, 2 goalies, Skip and Belief.
Yeah.
No, that's not what we're saying, Jason. What we're saying is that obviously this is a work in like progress. Is that like we're progressing to play good football and hopefully get that good football to win something. So obviously, I would rather watch us do that process, playing good football rather than playing crap football.
Yeah, because we watched us lose playing crap football last year.
That's what I'm saying.
We might as well play some good football because in that first half, the first 25 minutes, we did play well. Even longer, I'd say 35 minutes, we played very, very well, right? It's just that final ball wasn't that killer ball, that opened up their defence. And all the shots were either getting saved or blocked.
John, what I will say to this, I do think the high line is a problem when you don't have the subs to maintain it. What else do you want him to do? If he plays defensive, we don't have the players to maintain that either because Van der Ven's not there. Davis isn't good enough. So the fact of the matter is the squad depth is so poor. We haven't really got enough to do either. So why don't he just stick to his philosophy and go for it and try and make it entertaining and try and win than to just, our defence tonight. I just thought it was shocking.
If you look at the chances we had and the chances they had, we had so many more chances to score than them, but they were just more clinical. We made 2 errors and it led to their goals, but they were clinical. They finished their dinner and we didn't. I want to look at the stats because I'm thinking probably we had about 15 to 20 shots easily, didn't we?
Yeah.
I would say. I haven't looked at the stats yet because I was too angry after the game.
I haven't looked at the stats. I'm not going to be losing my mind over it, Steve. I'm disappointed, but I'm not, oh my God, this is outrageous. Angie's a one-trick pony. Angie's naive. Angie's this, Angie's that. I'm not a happy clapper either. I'm somewhere in the middle. No. I think we all are, where we can see what he's trying to do and what he's... I truly believe when he gets our players back, it's going to be such a different story. We saw that in the first part of the season. He just hasn't got the personnel to play it, but he hasn't really got the personnel to play the defensive system either because we're so short with bodies. It's as easy as that. So I don't know what people want him to do. He's not a magician at the end of the day.
But stats wise, we had 23 shots. They had 11. 7 on target for us and 5 for them. And possession-wise, they had 24% overall. We had 76.
Yeah,
we had
700 match.
We had 774 passes. They had 243.
You see the big difference. We should have won that match. It was in our grasp to win it.
They don't win you games, Drew Lala. But if you compare those stats to the stats that we were getting under Conte, they were diabolical.
Listen,
if you got one shot on goal, it was a miracle.
If you only have one shot in like anything, you've got less percentage chance of getting what you want from it. But if you've got more shots, you've got more opportunities and possibilities to get what you want. Does that make sense? Obviously, you've got to make those chances. So the problem is that we just weren't clinical or made the very good chances. Like the chances we had weren't like you said, the Johnsons were shots at the keeper a few times. Those stupid shots out from a bit further out and shooting right over the bar, wasting an opportunity,
Yeah.
It's just like ones like that obviously you just get really frustrated with, because we were just passing it so much that we didn't do it quick. We weren't snappy. See what Porro was trying to do? He was just trying to whiz it into the box, because twice that could have happened. They could have got an own goal. So see, if that would have happened, that would be because he's trying to do something. He's trying to put that ball in. And that Richarlison chance, he had that header.
I know, that was so bloody unlucky.
Yeah,
any
and
other
then
day that would go in.
That's what I'm saying. And then another chance that was put, Richarlison was put through, and it was on, like, I think it was Sonny, and it wasn't actually Richie's fault, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, just these chances that are just like almost like these near like almost chances, they're more frustrating, because you just think, for God's sakes, how many of those are we going to have? And that first half was just full of those. They were just full of us trying to do those kind of chances.
Yeah.
I think you'll be to win the league, not Villa.
I think, Jason, you'll be a little bit dramatic. It is a bump in the road. At the end of the day, you know, I don't understand what you want him to do. This poor guy, he's in a really crap position, like all our managers always are. But he's only had one window. We've got to be patient to see what Levy does in January, and then we can judge it from there.
And look what Arteta's doing now. They were patient with him. They could have booted him out at any stage in that first 3 or 4 years, and they stuck with him, and he's producing now. And Arsenal are getting their wins over the line. That's what we've got to do. We've got to start finishing our dinner.
I agree with this as well, though, that the fact that we've lost the lead is really concerning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go on, Mia.
Yeah, obviously what Jason's just said is you, Andrew just said, you get what you deserve. Well, yeah, like if we don't take our chances in the first half, then of course you do get what you deserve. But sometimes in football, you also don't get what you deserve. That's just football, man. That's what happens in football. We did probably deserve to lose the game against Villa, but we did. That's what happens. We deserve to win against, get a point against City? On the balance of things, possibly not. But it is what it is, because they had chances. They didn't take their chances. That's not on us. That's on them. Like I say, sometimes you get what you deserve. Sometimes you don't in football. And it is a bump. It is just a bump in the road. Because, like I said, if these were spread out more throughout those 15 games, people wouldn't be doing this. If it was 2 games just recently and the other 3 games were spread out, people probably wouldn't be like acting like this. But it's still the same amount of losses. If you just looked at the points, right, and you looked in the games, you didn't know when we lost or drew or whatever them, I'm sure people, for this start of Postecoglou's reign at Tottenham, people would have been happy with that, because nobody was saying at the start we would be getting top 4, if everybody's honest with themselves. So I don't understand why people find their toys out the pram about it. I really don't. I understand the losses are disappointing. I'm upset about the loss, of course, but I also understand.
What you got to ask yourselves, have we dominated games that we've lost? And we have. We dominated Villa. They got 2 breakaways and scored, right? We dominated tonight on the ball. We've got 76% possession, right? We dominated, but we didn't finish our chances. And we weren't clinical enough. So when Postecoglou says you get what you deserve, what I think he means is that sometimes you don't get what you deserve, but sometimes you do get what you deserve because you don't take your chances. Because we should have won that match easily. On the balance of play and the amount of possession we had and the chances compared to their chance, we had more than double their chances, right? So, I don't know. I thought we deserved to win the match, but we were naive in a lot of areas and we weren't clinical enough. And at the back, we made 2 clanger errors, and we got punished.
We could actually end up 8th or 9th after the Newcastle game.
But the fact is, right, is that once we get our players back, there's nothing saying that we can't win some games and be back up there. Because to be honest, I said 6th, 7th this season. So if we get 6th or 7th, I'm not going to get upset about it because that was my aim.
Yeah, and also when you look at the players that we lost, we've got Van der Ven, who like mops up so many of dangerous attacks from the opposition, and then we've got Madders who was scoring and creating for us. That's 2 massive losses. It's not just like if you lose someone like Basuma, right, you can replace him, but Madders is hard to replace him because he scores goals and creates goals. You know, so you've got to look at that.
I don't want to keep arguing with people in the chat here. I mean, not in like I'm feeling a bit meh anyway. I've got a bit of a cold coming, but honestly, we're going to be bottom half of the table. It's okay because it's Ange ball. But honestly, you're just being like, I don't understand. Like, what was your expectation, Jason, at the beginning of the season? Your honest expectation. I'd love to know because I don't know what you want. Right? I really don't. At the end of the day, would you rather we'd be playing really boring football and we're still going to probably end up with that probably position? Also, don't forget that we're building something. This is the start of something. When you look at Chelsea are much worse off than what we're doing at the moment, and they could come good. Poch could come good, but it takes time, right? It just takes time.
Yeah, and nobody can say our performance was boring tonight. I don't think we were boring at all. We were on the front foot for most of the game. It's just we just didn't do enough with the ball when we got into that final third. We weren't clinical enough, but we weren't boring. I can't put a label on that we were boring.
And okay, so Jason saying his expectation was finishing 8th. Well, we could still have finished 8th, so I don't really understand what if we finish 8th, then obviously that was your expectation. Where we are right now is slightly better than 8th. So let's see what happens at the end of the season, no?
We're 6th, aren't we? We're 6th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I just don't like it. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I say we end it there because it's all a bit doom and gloom, and we'll all sleep and see how we feel tomorrow.
True. We have to have a nice sleep tonight, ladies. Yeah. And then we'll have a lovely chinwag in the morning.
A nice sleep? Never. Don't happen. Don't happen. I've got a cold as
nice sleep.
I can't breathe through my nose.
I know I'm getting old when I'm having afternoon naps.
Make sure you subscribe and like both channels. Just to go with Love Spurs and Spurs Between the Lines. Anybody anything before we go?
This is just you've got to have faith, as a lovely George Michael once said. I saw him. I saw him live and he sung that song, Kate, and I was so happy that he sung that song when I saw him live.
Faith.
I love that song.
And also, let's finish our dinner for God's sake.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, everyone.
That's my motto for the day. Finish your dinner, Spurs.
Are you back tomorrow, Mia, or?
I'm going to do a review, and I probably will do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to have to because of the timing. Everything bloody timing now, because obviously with the game so close, I've got to do a preview and a review at some point. So,
me and Ellie will be back at 1 o'clock tomorrow to talk about it. But thanks to everyone tuning in.
Like it up a bit by then.
Like and subscribe to both channels, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Finish your dinner.
In Ange we trust.